this video, I just wanted to quickly demonstrate the basic process for getting our JavaScript page working and to test it, and I wanted to very quickly and briefly show how the debugger function works in your browser so that you can troubleshoot a little bit if you run into trouble. Now, we are making the assumption that you have taken an HTML CSS course in the past, and so the basic process should be familiar to you, but in case it's been a while, I thought I would show it, and there are links in Canvas that can give you some guidance if you do need to brush up on your HTML. So in this case, I am using Notepad++. Any text editor is fine. I will probably try and use a couple different ones throughout the semester in these videos just to show off some other ones, but Notepad++ is available on the on-campus computers, so I figured it's a good place to start. So I'm going to type up the example from the first chapter, the very first example it gives, and I magically have typed it here. And the first thing I need to do is make sure that I save this as an HTML document. Later on we'll be using JavaScript files, JS files, so we'll need to make sure we are always saving everything appropriately and in a place where we can access it quickly and easily. So I have a jump drive here with a folder, and I'm just going to call this example1.html. And if I go and look at that, I can see that it is saved as an HTML file. Firefox is my default browser on this computer, so it has the Firefox icon next to it. I'll go ahead and double click that, and it should open my page. Now I can see that there is a problem. This example was supposed to change the background of my web page to red, and it didn't work. And so just like with HTML, I can go back and I can look through my code and try and just trace through it, we call that, and see what's wrong. But your browser does have some tools to help. And in the case of Firefox, I can access that. By the way, I pressed the alternate key on my keyboard to bring up that menu. And under Tools, we have Web Developer Tools. And I can basically just toggle them all on. But the exact one that I'm interested in this case is called the Web Console. Okay, and the Web Console produces output, and so if there's an error message, it's going to go to the console, which normally isn't seen by the average user. You have to pull this up. And so I've got a little error message here. It says something that may not make much sense to us yet. It says syntax error, unterminated string literal, learn more. And I can actually click on that and get some documentation that might help. But more importantly for me is over on the right hand side, it tells me where this error happened, or where the best guess is the way I describe it. Sometimes the interpreter can't decipher what it sees correctly and can't identify an error and can't point you to the right spot. But if I click on that, it says that it was, by the way, it says it was on line 11, character 31. So if I click that, it shows me that here, and I can see line 11 is this, and if I were to count over 31 characters, it would point me to right about there. So it's helpful, at least now I know kind of where to look, and so I can go back to my code and see, well, oh yeah, I left off a closing quotation mark, and so I can now save that and come back here and refresh, and it works correctly. I can look in my console view and see that there are no error messages for me. The debugger view will still show me the code, the current version of the code if I want to see it. And I can close that at any time and toggle it back on. There is a shortcut key, Control-Shift-I, to just get that little panel back. So you'll very quickly get the hang of that. And again, it's just an easy tool. It's one that you're going to find useful throughout the semester. Chrome has a very similar set of tools available to you. And again, some information about that is posted in Canvas. So there we go.